Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you in another video. Alright, so I'm walking down the street with this big old Lakers shirt on, man, going to my first real therapy session. Turns out, if Google Maps is telling me the truth, it's only 3 blocks away from a train station. So me catching an Uber there is something that I think doesn't make any sense, when the furthest I'll have to walk is on my side of town. So my thing is, I can get there and get back without any concern, save myself all the money I was worried about spending just by walking down there, or catching the train. And the longest walk is a walk I'm very comfortable making. So about to do that right now. And I figured the best way to handle this is to try to put myself in a position to do content now, because I only got 36 minutes to talk. So the way I see it is get one of them videos out now, let it upload while I'm there, and then be able to have do a video when I come back, same length, and have that already be uploaded. So that's the plan. Hopefully my battery doesn't die, but I got the charger with me, so it doesn't matter. At any rate, man, finally gonna take care of this business, man. Finally gonna do something for myself. I got some very good news, very good news yesterday in regards to my situation. Essentially, according to my boy T, the mayor of the city is telling evicted tenants right now, during my term of life when I'm going through this, not to leave your apartment because there is no one set to take you out of it. The sheriffs that are supposed to be showing up to everyone's door, they're not sending them out right now. Now, if that ain't a God-blessed miracle upon my situation that had no probability of happening, I don't know what is. If that ain't a direct, hey Brandon, here's a bone for you, I don't know what is. And I've been trying to tell y'all this is how he does. And it's like, but it's not about one of them situations where I get to sit on a cloud and say, see, look at my favor. He does that for people he intends on using for specific reasons. I've been watching this kind of stuff my whole life. You may wonder, why the heck these type of things ain't happening in my life? You can't see the hell that he's probably gonna put me through because of the timing that I'm on for what it is that he wants. So that's my situation. As I see it, it's like, yeah, he's giving me a lot, but he gonna want me to do a lot too. So that's really what I'm worried about, is he gonna have me doing all kind of stuff. Have a good day, brother. Thank you. He gonna have me doing all kinds of stuff that ultimately is gonna have me living through some harsh times too, just like I've been dealing with. It's not just favor. It's not just favor. And so that's why I'm saying, where much is given, much is expected. I got to continue to use my voice for the betterment of my circumstances as it pertains to trying to be better for others, rather for the betterment of other people's. The example that I'm showing others, it got to be for a purpose other than me just continuing to be saved in life by various things that don't look like they should be happening. You know what I mean? In favor of myself. It's like, nah, it ain't just about exalting me. It ain't about it. It's about exalting God and having him use the tool that I've become for whatever it is that he intends to use it. And if it happens to end with me going through a great deal of suffering, a lot of these good times and a lot of these little saves lead up to that suffering. And that's what I tell people. It's like, look, man, you don't know what's leading a person. You don't know where they're headed. You don't know. Don't be jealous of nobody's circumstances. Don't be so certain that just because they got everything that you want, that they're going to have a good life while having those things. And it may not be that way. It may not be that way for them. You don't know where they're headed. So it's like, for me, it's like, I'm thankful for the blessings. But the first thing that came to mind is, and I talked to God about this morning. I was like, first of all, thank you, Holy Spirit, for allowing me to have a day where circumstances fall into place for me, but may not necessarily fall into place for someone else, so that I can receive the blessing that is this situation. And the people who don't get the benefit of what it is that's happening here are the people who own those buildings. My situation, and you guys know my situation, it's very specific. And if I would have did certain things a different way, I would have had the funds allowing me to pay the bill so that my name could have been better, so that none of this would have happened. I made certain choices that ultimately backed me into the problems I have. My case is my case. Maybe you have a better case if you've been evicted as of late. Maybe you've been through some situations that maybe put you in a position to feel like, you know what? This isn't my fault. I don't deserve to get evicted. I wanted to pay my bills, but I caught a bad break. I might have just lost my job or something. Maybe you didn't make decisions like I did, and ultimately it's your fault, your situation went left, whatever, right? I'm not here to point out my case or your case. I'm just thinking about if I were on the other end of this thing and I had to evict somebody and I go through the process of getting them evicted, you're telling me that you're not going to remove them after we've gone through this legal process? I appreciate that on this end of it, but if I were someone who owned a building, I would need another solution for those people to have housing, rather than you telling me that you're not going to honor what you've agreed to. And so that's where I like wake up appreciating that I was able to benefit from something that someone else doesn't, because I do feel that way. I feel like very much this is unfair for those apartment owners, and if I were on their side, there's got to be another way than to just let evicted tenants who've been delinquent on over a year's rent continue to sit in space indefinitely after we've gone through the process of having a judge say whatever the case it was said. Do I appreciate that this is falling in place for me? Absolutely. Yes. But I'm also intelligent enough to know that there's a better way, and I don't think we found it yet. And I think it's gonna hurt on the back end. This is what I feel about situations that lack balance. If I'm going to benefit from it today, that means I'm likely going to have to pay for it tomorrow. Let it have balance now so I can pay the toll so that everything will be fine for me. I don't want to have to pay so much later on because I may not have that much to give at that time. I'd rather let everything be balanced, sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed now, so that everything can be on and up, and that there should be no concerns. No concerns, you know? And that's what ultimately I think I value more. And so for me, it's like, all right, they're not going to send a sheriff now, but at some point in time, that could create different problems, because now maybe the management feels like they got to get me out. You know what I mean? Maybe they're going to send some people like, yo, let's do this illegal. Not to say that I expect that, but in certain situations, if it's already been bad and you went through the courts to get somebody out and the courts ain't going to honor to get them out, then what the hell else you going to do? You're going to send, you know what I mean? You're going to, and so like I said, there has to be a better way. I respect that this is going to help some people, but I also respect that this could create some new problems. And I just look and wonder if this is something we should really be celebrating. Should we? Like, I need this. But the whole point of needing something for me is so that I can get on my feet, so that I can promote balance, so that I can promote helping others, so that I can promote sacrificing where necessary for tomorrow, so that today, even though it's going to be tougher, tomorrow will be so much more improved if we just make the right decisions today. We collectively bargain properly today so that we don't have to. You see what I'm saying? That's why my mind thinks. So when I see stuff like this, the first thing I say is thank you, God, for coming through for me. The second thing I say is this right? Is this right for everybody? And the answer is no. Can I see a world where this creates a lot more problems? No. And that's what I see there, man. I'm not, but this is one of those situations where it's like, am I biting the hand that feeds me by not just saying, oh my God, this came my way and get me? No, not at all, because the example I'm trying to show is that sometimes you do benefit from things, should be thankful for those things, and also should be thinking about other ways of improving what it is that's going on both sides without somebody complaining about anything. The person who benefits from it first should be looking for solutions so that what it is they benefit from does not reflect poorly upon them. That everybody else eats off of what you do. Hey, buddy, how you doing? What's up, fun? So that everybody benefits, so do you, you know? And that's what it's about. You want everybody to benefit. That way, the wolves stay off you. People ain't dreaming up ways of taking what you got necessarily, not reasonably, because you're making sure they get their portion. It's how to survive. It's how to keep your thing going. As far as I could tell, it's how to not deserve the worst of things later on. And so this is what I think. And though I benefit, greatly benefit, I still have circumstances where I look at application of thought where I say, please understand that you benefit from something, but still should question whether or not it's good for the whole. And if you do, we are better. And so when I do, I feel the same. And that's the example I need. As a black man, I need some people who benefit from some things to think, wait a minute, this is perfect lined up for me. And I don't know who this hurts, but I know it hurts somebody, and that's going to reflect poorly upon me and reflect poorly upon the effort of helping people like me in that vein ever again. It's a lot of things that can go wrong when you take too much and don't leave enough for everybody else. You know what I mean? Or do things the wrong way to just try to fix the problem real quick, and then don't think about the other problems that can ultimately come through the door when you do so. I really think of these things, man, whether I benefit or not. Because as extreme as it sounds, people have benefited from some of the worst things in the world, and it fell right into place for them, and they were happy about it, and other people suffered to hell. And it's the main thing that I don't want. I don't want that for myself. I don't want that on my name. I don't want that on my legacy. I don't care if the whole world's been doing that. I don't believe it works. I don't believe it works. I think it's why people feel they have to take so much from others. It's because nobody cares to stop and say, yo, just because I benefit from this, let me make sure everybody else is eating. Let me make sure that this works for the other side so that they are not looking to plot against me. Justifiably. You understand what I'm saying? And when you apply that method and you start thinking about how other people can be fed off what it is you benefit from, then you start finding what it is that loyalty is truly made of. Then you start finding what giving a person a break is manifested from when someone decides, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna give him a break. When someone decides, you know what, yeah, it's cool, I'm not gonna get on their case about this today. Those energies are manifested from when people have been considerate and applying consideration unnecessarily. This is understood, man. And so what am I considering throughout the whole process of this? Throughout all my mental health concerns in regards to staying isolated in the house, one of the prayers that I prayed every day was that things would work out for the people on the other side of my case, because it was never my intention to do anything other than pay them for the time that I spent in their property. It wasn't that I thought I was doing was right. It was that I couldn't help myself but to do it. And that made me ill in my mind. However that played itself out, I couldn't audible out of what I felt wasn't gonna be fair. And so if I can't control that, then I need help with that, which is literally where I'm headed right now. But if not for that, then I would believe in the fairness that would make it so that either I pay them or get the hell out of their property. So if I've agreed to pay them, or rather get the hell out of their property because I couldn't pay them, and nobody's gonna force me out of there, I'm thankful. But there's one half of my prayer that ain't being taken care of. And that's them on the other side. Now they got to continue to endure the same things they've been enduring in regards to me staying in that apartment. And while I'd love to leave, I can't find an apartment and need this extension. I can think of a way for me to get what I need and out of their apartment by way of the help of those who are not sending the sheriffs. Like I said, there's a better way. There's a better way. And maybe me saying there's a better way doesn't manifest a better way. Maybe there ain't no better way. And for that, I am thankful. But what I'm also thankful for is that I don't own an apartment building over here and have tenants that I need out of here for reasons that have nothing to do with anything on the up and up, and I can't get them the hell out of here because the city won't send no damn sheriffs. I don't know why God gave me a brain like this. I don't know why I don't cover my backside better and just say thank you everybody who's done this. For all I know, it was a 1% who saw my video and somehow manipulated this in the benefit of my very own self. And for you, I say thank you. But I wouldn't be the person that was worth you doing that for if I didn't say, are we making sure that everybody else is taken care of too? Are we doing the best we can? Because I'm telling you, man, I literally just heard about landlord-tenant dispute that ended in a fatality. I just heard about it a couple days ago. And so for me, it's like, well, that meant this right here, that's how you get that. That's how you get that for sure. You're going to get that for sure. Because there's going to be some people that ain't going to want, you know what I mean? There's situations that it got ugly or what have you. Maybe, I don't know. But I just think it's a lot to be said for once the courts tell me something, now it's upon the enforce of the law to make it happen. And if the law ain't going to enforce what the courts have put in place, where does that end and where does that begin? And if we're going to keep doing that, can we help, apply this to circumstances where it needs to be applied so that some people who are incarcerated who shouldn't be can get the hell out of jail? Since we're just kind of ignoring the courts, you know what I'm saying? Can we throw away some of these warrants for stuff that don't, ain't that big a deal? I mean, if we just go ignore courts and rulings, then some of the stuff I think that would most benefit our world and our society needs that applied to it. What comes to mind, man? It's exactly what comes to mind. And so, do I benefit from this? Of course I benefit from this. Yes, I needed this to happen. I need some variation of this to occur. But in order for me to be my best self, I also have to continue to see where my voice can be lended for the betterment of fairness. So otherwise, that life doesn't deserve to be saved. You know what I'm saying? That dude just ran a red light on a bike. I would not do that. Now, there was no traffic. He had it right. But if for some reason one of these people was a little too hasty with the gas, he would have been on his backside, you dig? Certain things you just don't do, fam. If you're gonna run a light, don't do it on a damn motorcycle. Seriously, that's all I'm saying, bro. Don't do that. Anyway, so that's the thought, man. I push for fairness because when somebody else benefits from something I suffer from, I need them to think that way, man. I really do. I really need you to think that way. I need you to take the fruit from what's going on, see the celebration around you for what you're going through, and think of me because I'm suffering. You dig? And so when I benefit from something that I think doesn't cause any suffering necessarily, but with the brain I have, I can fathom a lot of problems that can come from this in applications for which mine is not. Other circumstances where my situation maybe ain't what's going on there. Yeah, it should probably be a situation where they are coming through and making sure that they more or less get that person the hell out of here. Really. And so that is the thought. I say I'm about 15 minutes away from the train station. And like I said, I'm gonna go get help for myself. I'm gonna go get help for what put me in a position to be this way. You know what I mean? I tried to make every excuse for why I didn't want to go there this morning. I was fatigued yesterday, stressed about it, all different types of stuff leading up to this. I couldn't afford I was telling myself I couldn't afford taking the trip. It was too far. Got to get in somebody's car and ride the freeway. I was more so thinking, if I wait too late, then I'm probably going to get there late if I leave the house too late. But if I leave too early, I'm walking in the dark in this neighborhood. All the excuses. I made every excuse in the book. I'm tired. I woke up in the morning. My body clock thrown off. I was up at 1 a.m. All these stupid thoughts. They have nothing to do with reversing the conditioning of my mind to be better so that those excuses could not be in place anymore. It's the very essence of this loser, lousy, broke weakness that has put me in a position to have to walk down the street right now. Over it. Nobody's more tired of my bullcrap than me. And that's why I'm walking down the street right now. And another reason why I'm walking down the street right now is that my appointment was about an hour and a half later than what I thought it was, so I actually didn't have to get up as early as I thought. Things that work themselves out, or rather things that I don't fully pay attention to like I should, and then from there, will anticipate stress with it, instead of just doing the homework necessary to know what I need to know. This condition is a needs to change, man. Things I'm gonna do to get better. You know what I mean? Saying to myself, yo, I don't care that you don't want to go. The only thing important in your life right now is being at that place, working on your mind for a plethora of reasons. A plethora of reasons. It ain't just one or two. I got like 8 reasons why I need to be headed to this place right now. And so for all the different things that I made excuses leading up to this, all the different weaknesses and anxieties that I felt, I forced myself out of that house. And even though I didn't want to find myself in a situation where I was taking this long trip on the train, at the end of the day, I do want to save that money. The only reason why I would even get in somebody's car is because I was afraid to do this. You feel me? Like literally. It wasn't because it was more convenient. It was because my anxiety made it so that I didn't want to catch a train and walk down the street. It's the only reason why I ever caught an Uber anywhere, basically. So it's like, man, if I'm ever gonna realize my own strength and make something of this voice of mine, if I'm ever gonna really do anything, I gotta take initiative to overcome these mental hurdles first. I gotta, in the moment when I'm feeling my lowest, like we talked about in the previous couple of therapy sessions ago, in that moment when you feel like you're weakest, or in that moment where your anxiety is hitting you the most, or in that moment when you're trying to do something that you ain't got no business doing mentally, you just gotta win that battle. You gotta love yourself enough to win that battle, get up and move. You know, regardless of what the situation is, regardless of why. You might find yourself in a situation that ain't favorable. You just get up, man. The sun is shining, you can see. That's the bottom line. If the sun is shining, you can see, you can dream up a new plan, and you can execute that plan. Small increments will get it done, man. Confidence gained from winning that race, and then from there you can add more to it. Whatever the loss is, whatever the situation is, however much time you have left, you can set your goals for yourself. I believe that. And so that's what I'm telling everybody. Don't think for 1 second that this is easy for me. And I told myself I wasn't going about 2 hours ago. You feel me? Like literally. I was eating food saying, man, I'm gonna call these people, just let them know we can reschedule. But what I realized is, reschedule to what? Next week where I'm gonna have the same thought? 3 months from now? Because who knows how long it's gonna be before they're able to schedule me again, given the fact that this is how this schedule went. Several weeks out, it's like, man, I need help. Period. Like, I'm not looking to ask for it, I'm looking to go get it. And when I get it, then I'm gonna become it for others. It's that simple, man. If I'm not already doing that now. So that's what it's about. Not necessarily trying to be famous or all that stuff. I don't think I would enjoy fame that much. I really don't. I just got a lot of art forms, a lot of things I like to do. And I'm hopeful that with what it is that I am confident in sharing, that I can do good things with my voice and ultimately raise awareness for those art forms. And whatever comes with that is good enough. That's honestly how I feel right now. So I encourage everybody to keep their head on straight. Care about what you care about. Believe in what you believe in. Don't give up. BDF 44. Thank you all for watching.